जय हिंद दोस्तों। आई एम सीए शिवशीष Karnani. I would be discussing all the GST related implications on casinos and on online gaming. What were the GST related implications with effect from 1st July 2017, that is the date of GST inception, till 30th September 2023? What are the GST related implications with effect from 1st October 2023? And finally, I would be discussing whether Delta Corp, which is a listed organization and engaged into casino related activities, whether Delta Corp would be able to bear this higher toll of GST going forward. Now, friends, let's start our discussion. There is no GST on actionable claims. As per para 6 of Schedule 3rd, there is no GST on actionable claims except lottery, betting, and gambling. So, on this lottery, betting, and gambling, there is a GST. Now, the reason I discussed para 6 is because of the fact that online gaming and casinos are also an actionable claim, and for this reason, there were certain industry in which there was no tax which was paid on online gaming and casinos by considering it to be a actionable claim. Nonetheless, I'm going to discuss further on online gaming and casinos. Let's discuss what is the existing taxability from period 1st July 2017 till 30th September 2023 on lottery, betting, and gambling. Since we have discussed that there is a GST on lottery, betting, and gambling, let's discuss it further. Rule 31A specifically states that in case of lottery, betting, gambling, and even in case of horse racing, the full value is liable to GST. That is, in case of lottery, the face value of the lottery ticket. In case of betting, the face value of the bet which is being made. In case of gambling and horse racing, the amount which is being paid to the totalizer is liable to GST. The understanding is that in case of lottery, betting, and even in case of horse racing, entire value which is being received by the supplier of these activities is liable to GST. Now we have got the value. Now coming to the rate part. As per notification number 1 2017 central tax rate on these particular items, that is lottery, betting, gambling, and horse racing, the liability is at the rate of 28%. So total amount multiplied by 28% is the GST liability in case of these four items. Now, when we have seen this rule 31A and notification number 1, there is no mention of casinos and online gaming related activities. And for this reason, this led to the dispute. This led to the dispute in case of Delta Corp because Delta Corp operates casinos. Now, as per the understanding of Delta Corp, this casino related activities can very well said to be a actionable claim. And similarly, in case of Gamescraft and Dream 11, this online money gaming can very well be considered to be a actionable claim since neither Rule 31A mentions casino, neither it mentions online money gaming, and similarly when we go to the rate notification there is no mention of the casino and online money gaming. Nonetheless, since the industry was following a practice of paying GST on the gross gaming revenue. Now, what is the gross gaming revenue? Let us say a person goes and plays rupees 100 of the game that is there on the online money gaming application. There are 5%, 500 rupees is being gathered by the online money gaming app, that is Gamescraft of or Dream 11. A player wins. Out of those five players, one player wins and he gets rupees 400. Now, what was the existing practice? The existing practice was to pay tax on rupees 100, that is the amount received from the players, that is rupees 500, less the amount which is being paid, that is rupees 400. The current practice was to pay tax on rupees 100. And even what was the tax rate? The tax rate as per the current practice was 18%. So Delta Corp, or let us say Gamescraft or Dream 11 were paying tax on 100 rupees multiplied by 18%. 18%. And the contention of the department was that since online gaming and casinos can very well be equated with the lottery, betting, and all these other activities which are already liable to GST, and accordingly, GST should be paid on the full value, because on other activities, that is lottery and betting, GST is being paid on the full value. So, what is the reason of not paying GST on full value in case of casinos and online gaming? And this has led to the dispute. So department view is that on entire 500 rupees there is liability to pay GST, that too at the rate 28%, because on other activities, that is lottery, betting, and gambling, there is a tax liability of 28%. And for this reason this dispute arose. Now let's discuss what are the position which is being taken by the government by amending the entire law with effect from 1st October 2023. They have amended the definition of actionable claim, as in para 6 of schedule 3rd has been amended to exclude certain specified actionable claim. Earlier actionable claim excluded lottery, betting, and gambling. However, this time they have said it to be actionable claims are not liable to GST except specified actionable claim. Now, when we go to specified actionable claim means betting, it was already there. Casinos, they have included specified actionable claim. They've included casinos in that. Gambling was already there. Horse racing was already there, since the valuation and rate was there in case of horse racing. Lottery was also there. And finally, this online money gaming. So they have included two more activities in specified actionable claim, that is casinos and online money gaming. And these two activities are going forward specifically liable to GST in terms of the specific provisions of the act. Earlier, since they were not specifically mentioned, for that reason the dispute arose. Now, from 1st October 2023, it is very relevant to note that there is no difference in the game of skill or game of chance. When they have made online money gaming liable to GST, they have not given any differentiation between games of skill and games of chance. Specific Rule 31B has been inserted to value the transactions of online money gaming. As per this rule, the amount paid or deposited with the gaming services provider would be liable to GST. So, what we have seen in case of lottery, betting, gambling, the face value is liable to GST. Similarly, here also they have said that entire amount paid or deposited with the gaming services provider would be liable to GST. Similarly, in case of Rule 31C, which is being inserted for the purpose of taxability of casinos, what they have done is they have specifically stated that whatever is the tickets purchased, as in token or chips which are being purchased from the casino activities provider, that would be liable to GST. So what they are trying to do is they are trying to create a level playing field between lottery, gambling, and online money gaming, or for that matter casinos, and not specifically level playing field. They wish to equate lottery, government wish to equate lottery, betting, gambling with casinos or online money gaming, and whether online money gaming is a game of skill or chance. In both the cases, it is liable to same treatment. This specific rule 31B has been inserted in for online money gaming, 31C has been inserted for casinos, and similarly notification number 1 has been amended to specify that in case of lottery, betting, gambling, horse race, in case of online money gaming and casinos, the rate of GST would be 28%. Now, I have created two examples to specifically discuss how the taxability is going to be dealt in case of online money gaming and casino. Now, let us say a player comes, he purchases chips or token of rupees 100. Out of that rupees 100, he won rupees 50 and he loses rupees 20. Now, finally, what is the amount which is being left? What is the balance amount which is being available with that player? So, 100 was the initial amount plus 50 minus 20. That leaves him with rupees 130. Now, 130 is not liable to GST. Only rupees 100 is liable to GST because the law specifically says that we are not going to tax the winnings. In this case, 50 rupees is the winning. The winnings are not going to be liable to GST. Only the initial amount by which the chips or token were purchased would be liable to GST. Similarly, in another example, rupees 100 is the initial amount. The player won rupees 70 and he loses 180. The balance which is available with the player is rupees nil. Rather, he was supposed to pay rupees 10 because he has lost rupees 180 out of his winnings and the initial chips which he purchased of rupees 170. Finally, he is left with rupees 10 for which he has purchased additional chips. Now, in this case, the government says 100 was the value for which initial chips or token were purchased, and rupees 10 were purchased later on because he has purchased, finally, he purchased the total value of chips rupees 1110, and for that reason, this rupees 110 would be liable to GST, and the GST would be liable at the rate of 28%. So this was the crux of these valuation rules which has been inserted in GST law, that is rule 31A and 31B and 31C. Now, finally, we have already discussed what was the taxability from 1st July 2017 till 30th September 2023. What is the taxability with effect from 1st October 2023? Now, finally, let's see what was the taxability pre-GST, because we would be discussing what can be the implication on DeltaCorp. Now, since the government is asking for tax on rupees 500, that is the amount which is being received from all the five players of rupees 100 each, that is the gross gaming value. Whether DeltaCorp would be able to sustain this higher GST hit of rupees 500 multiplied by 28%, whether it will be able to bear. For this reason, I dwelled into the taxability. What was the taxability of casinos prior to GST? Now, for this, let me open a website. So, this is the website. So, I had visited goagst.gov.in, and since casinos were earlier liable to entertainment tax, they were not liable to GST, they were liable to entertainment tax. So, this is the website of Goa GST. I visited that website, and when I got inside, it specifically says Schedule D specifically deals with casino and casino games. So, hope this is visible, and it says that the services which are being provided by casino and casino games which are attached to hotels would be liable to, it says that 15% of the sale of chips, coin, or receipts received by the proprietor or operators. Similarly, casino or casino games which are being played on the vessels, it says that 15% of the sale of the chips or coin or the revenue received by the proprietor or operators. What does this simply means? This means that earlier prior to GST, they were in any case liable to 15% GST on the sale value. That is rupees 500. They were liable to deposit 15% as the entertainment tax. So that was the tax prior to GST. Now, with effect from 1st October 2023, government has specifically introduced this tax, but at a slightly higher rate of 28%. So it means only there is a difference of 13% which is there, because the value is the value of sale value of the chips which is being received by the supplier. It is not the gross gaming revenue, it is the gross gaming value on which there was a leviability of entertainment tax prior to GST, and now with effect from 1st October 2023. So the difference is of 13%. When I had visited DeltaCorp website, I got to know that from March 2012 till now as well, and prior to GST was introduced in July 2017. So when we see the results till March 2017, the company had a sale of, let us say, 450 crores. Out of that, the profit was around 70 crores. Even when there is a leviability of additional 13% GST, in that case also, when we calculate 450 CR multiplied by 13%, it comes to around 50-60 CR. Then also the company is profitable. When we go to March 2016 results, it says that the sale value is around 375 crores, for which when we compute 13% of this value, it comes to around, let us say, 40-45 crores. Then also the company was, in a way, it was profitable. However, it is relevant to note that in any case, this 13% would be recovered from the customers. As such, it is not going to impact the sales or the profit part, because the GST part is recovered from the customers, and accordingly, there isn't going to be any hit on the sales or the profit margin of the company. However, I leave this analysis on you whether you wish to stay with Delta Corp share or not. This was my analysis, and with this, I end this video. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Follow me for more such updates.